Hello, everybody, and welcome to this, our first ever special edition of the Questionable Album Club. It's like the emergency pod button, and Steve had the very good idea to press the emergency button for what occurred this weekend just gone, which is the Back to the Beginning concert at Villa Park in Birmingham, England, on Saturday, July the 5th, 2025, which was allegedly the last time we're going to see Ozzy Osbourne on stage in any capacity, and this was in the capacity of Black Sabbath, the original four members, for the first time on stage since 2005, and his solo band, him appearing as a solo artist, blah blah blah, and a huge supporting cast. So that's what we're going to talk about today. On the panel today, we've got Marcus Kingerer. Hello, Marcus.
Good to be back.
We've got Steve Gibson.
Long time no see, everybody.
And making his first appearance with us today, Mr. Keith Forfar. Thank you so much for joining us, Keith.
Last, no doubt.
Well, let's hope so. Thanks, everybody. So please, first of all, let's just see. Put your hands up if you went to the gig on Saturday. Okay, put your hands up if you watched the live stream. And put your hands up if you watched a whole load of clips on YouTube just for the benefit of this recording tonight, Marcus.
Even that, actually, I thought I'd be completely an outsider to this. Apart from, I did have the benefit of Seb and Steve giving it this online for about 12 hours. So I feel like I've had every possible nuance. So I'm just going to have this from a total outsider.
That is true. That to be fair, we did. There was quite a lot of back and forth on the old WhatsApp about this because me and Steve. I don't know if you meant to watch it all day, Steve. Did you mean to watch it?
Well, once it was one of those things. Once you started, you're not going to turn it off and not see Ozzy and Sabbath, are you?
I was the same thing. When I realised it worked on my TV, I just sort of thought I'll just leave it on. It's a bit like Live Aid. It was just sort of on all day in the corner. Yeah. So I sort of engaged with it on and off throughout the day.
I think it helped. Go on, Keith.
Obviously, we all paid for the live stream.
Obviously.
For charity.
Yeah. And it was. I like contributing. I contributed to all Sharon's favourite charities. Yeah, and I'm really, really proud of having done so.
But I think it helped as well that the bands, it was just short sets, so you didn't. If they were doing like 40 minutes each, I would have drifted off and done other things while they were on. But there was enough to keep. Well, we'll get into it, I guess, as we go around and talk briefly about what we thought. But I'll watch the stream. Yeah,
it was
in preparation for today's. I've been to Birmingham today, so I feel that's a bit of a connection. It's like when you have sporting events, they talk about legacy. There's now the legacy of Saturday, and there's pictures of Black Sabbath everywhere. There's paintings. They've done it outside the pub where they did the first ever Black Sabbath gig, the Crown. So you can feel this big love-in going on with the city of Birmingham for Black Sabbath.
That's the pub that's closed down.
That's it. Yeah, it's all boarded up now. It's the right state. I mean, the best they could do was paint over the windows with these kind of not paint them, but put the old pictures from like 1969, 1970 in the windows as a little memorial and a nice little plaque as well.
Well, that's all right then. You don't need a pub and an economy. Just a picture of an airbrush photo of Geezer Butler and a plaque.
Well, but I must just tell you, on the train, I thought I'm not gonna just do mindless scrolling through my phone looking for clips. I'm gonna have a complete digital detox. No more news. I'm gonna get my head into a good book. So I enjoyed this one. Oh, you can't really see it. It's really engrossing book. It's called The Salt Path. Fantastic read. I don't know if you know it.
There we go.
What's going on?
Marcus has got a clash of news stories. There's a big news story about this book over the weekend. It's basically a fraud. The whole thing.
I heard about that on the way home today on the news.
It's a big best-selling book from about 7 or 8 years ago about this old couple who lost their house through no fault of their own and walked around.
Bullshit, apparently.
And they basically embezzled a load of money.
He was dying of cancer, but then wasn't.
No, he's fine. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
So he lived for 18 years when you're only supposed to live for 4 or 5, aren't you?
That's the one.
Doesn't it turn out you probably maybe?
Thanks for that, Marcus.
Cheers, mate. Yeah,
this really pithy pod is like, we've got some American. We've got some American listeners now, mate, and they're going to just be going like, literally, if we look at the fucking algorithm for this, it's going to be falling off a cliff. And Marcus holds up the book we can't even see the fucking cover for.
Did you see them?
Did
you see the guy putting the plaque up on that pub?
He wasn't there today, no, and it wasn't really a plaque. It was just, to be honest, it was a printed sort of thing someone had written, and it was under a bit of perspex.
He had one to put up, but he didn't put it very high, and I thought that won't be there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I saw also Bill Ward's picture. He had signed it, but they put a Perspex cover on the front. So I was quite impressed that was still there, you know, with the Perspex cover. I thought someone would have whipped that off. But there we go.
Anyway,
I should have more faith in the Brummies.
I didn't start watching until Slayer.
Oh, right.
Should we talk about the actual concert?
But
if you don't mind, lads, I'm sorry to bore you, but should we actually talk about the fucking thing we're supposed to be talking about very briefly? Yeah. And Keith, if you didn't see anything till Slayer, just hold off a minute because we're just going to go through very briefly. If anyone saw any of the other acts, right? I'm just going to go very briefly through them, and if anyone's got anything interesting to say about these, then please interject. Mastodon. No, everyone did a Sabbath cover. They did Super Naughty with shit. Rival Sons. Owen likes Rival Sons. Anthrax, they did Indians and Into the Void. That was very strange. They were terrible. Hailstorm. This is great. This is my favourite point ever. Talking about a book and a load of bands that no one saw.
Not as I envisaged it, to be honest.
This is fantastic.
Rival Sons English or not?
They're American.
Yeah. So we had no English bands then.
No, I heard you hardly heard an English accent on stage the whole day. It was really weird.
No.
It was
Birmingham.
Yeah. Birmingham, exactly. And then even Ken Downey wasn't allowed to speak. But at least he was able to play out of tune. That's another thing I want to talk about, the out of tune guitars. But we'll come to that. Lamb of God.
I did. I have watched it since. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right. Then he's cut his dreads off, which I got some stick for from Steve.
Oh. Right. So then we come to the first All-Star band, Tom Morello's All-Star Supergroup A. And the first thing they did was The Ultimate Sin with Nuno Betancourt, Mike Borden, David Ellison, and Jakey Lee. Hooray, Jakey Lee, my favourite Aussie guitar player, Jakey Lee, who couldn't play Bark at the Moon because apparently he's got really bad arthritis in his hand, but he can play The Ultimate Sin because it's a bit slow. I love Jakey Lee. Well,
I've got general things to say about the supergroups, but nothing specifically about that.
Okay. Then they did Shot in the Dark. Then they did Sweet Leaf. And Scott Ian came on, and then the bloke. Then Thunderstick came on for Believer, and then Youngblood came on.
Who's Youngblood? Who is this man?
He's like a rapper. He's one of my daughter who watched some of this with me with her head in her hands. She's 16. She recognised him. She was like, "What on earth is he doing there? What is he doing there among all these old men?" And I didn't know.
Right. I mean, his name sounds quite metal, doesn't it?
It's spelled Young. It's spelled Youngblud.
Even better.
Yeah. Then there was oh god, did you see the VT of Jack Black playing with Tom Morello's child and stuff?
Yeah.
Doing Mr. Crowley.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I nearly switched off at that point. This is all really so far. I watched all of this and just thinking I was essentially just laughing at the whole thing, just thinking, oh dear.
Who did Mr. Crowley?
Jack Black and a bunch of children, literally a bunch of children. Tom Morello's child.
Video,
Right.
Was it a School of Rock? Was it a School of Rock type thing? Where
that was the concept, yeah.
Okay, yeah, but
Jack Black was dressed.
Haven't got any funnier in the last 20 years, then.
No, it was no funnier. In fact, it gets less funnier. Everything Jack Black does, it seems to me, just gets less funnier. Then it was Alice in Chains, who they looked at. I hadn't heard them since they got the new single. That was all right, I thought. Then it was Gajira.
I thought Fairy. That's at that point in the day, their Fairies Wear Boots was by far the highlight to that point.
I thought the
Keith, you hadn't turned on by this point. You can't comment.
Well, no, I flicked into some of this. Steve was bending my ear, so I have flicked onto various bits because I don't know how he actually watched any. Because if he was typing to you, he was typing consistently to us as well. So,
it went on for a long time. There was not much happening on stage. There was
Bark at the Moon seemed okay. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Who did Bark at the Moon then?
Well, the All-Star.
Group, isn't it?
That was we haven't got there, Marcus. That was Supergroup B.
Okay.
Nuno played Jake's parts, and to be fair to him, that fantastic solo at the end of Bark at the Moon, he absolutely nailed.
Yes, he did it very well. Yeah.
Even though you weren't listening, Keith, because it wasn't Slayer yet.
No, I have seen it since.
Okay, right. Then it was Gajira. I've never heard of. I've heard of them. I've never heard their music, and I missed this because I went to Sainsbury's. Anyone see Gajira, Steve?
I saw them. It was. I can't remember.
Okay, right.
I like them very much.
Oh,
look at that buzz.
but I didn't
I've
see
got
it.
a weird buzz then.
Did you watch it, Keith? Did you watch it retrospectively? Did you watch
No, because I was worried it might not be very good, and I'm seeing them soon, so I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, right. Then we had a drum off. Steve, what did you think of the drum off?
He went for a poo. He said.
This was my beef with the supergroup and the drum off. It was 600 quid a ticket, and it was just they just looked like they would just bash something out backstage 2 minutes before. I mean, it was the drum off was the riff to Synth of the Universe, and you know the fills and the classic Billboard fills. They were just taking turns doing that, but they were just showing their party chops, and then they were looking at each other and getting it all wrong, coming in and out of time. It was really under rehearsed and rubbish. It was terrible, absolutely terrible.
But then we did have Rudy Stars.
If I'd have paid 600 quid a ticket, I would have been thinking, come on.
Yeah, but you weren't paying 600 quid for that, were you?
Yeah, but that's part. Don't do it then. Put something rehearsed on.
Well, okay. Well, anyway, Rudy Sarzo came on for that. I was really chuffed to see Rudy Sarzo because I like him. He's a
he looked alright actually.
He looked great for like 76 or whatever he is. Yeah, so that was that. Then it was the second supergroup, which KK Downing with Billy Corgan singing, and that was really the low point. But I don't know if you saw they did Breaking the Law was the first one. That was
dreadful. That was absolutely dreadful.
And Billy Corgan, I don't like Smashing Pumpkins anyway. I don't like him, but it was
bizarre choice for that.
It was his voice, that kind of it was all.
Just to interject here, I've read Sharon Osbourne's autobiography, and she managed him for a short while. She managed Smashing Pumpkins for about 6 months or something, and the bit of vitriol that she spouts about Billy Corgan is just extraordinary. It's like a whole page of swear words just chucked at him. It's like she's had a dictaphone and she's just like sworn real bitterness and anger. So the fact that their paths ever crossed again is truly miraculous. And then on top of that, he's become. I appreciate you didn't like him. I liked the Smashing Pumpkins back in the day, but for some reason I'm getting to know more about him. He's one of the things that crops up on my newsfeed, and he's one of these people that's got way too much to say about very little. He's really tedious. He's really opinionated and really tedious.
He's got a podcast now, hasn't he? Where he interviews famous rock stars and stuff. There was a Paul Stanley one recently, which I might have watched. I can't remember. But he's very Trumpy. He's very, very, very right wing.
Right, okay.
Massive Trumper, which explains a lot. But it was it was really, really bad.
That was bad.
But it was nice to see Ken. Ken was out of tune. Keith, did you notice, as a fellow guitar player, did you notice one of the big things for me was how out of tune a lot of the guitars were? Did you notice that?
I haven't seen that one.
No, I mean generally. I'm not talking about that song. I'm talking throughout the day and evening. There were a lot of guitars that were out of tune.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a surprise.
Right.
I don't know.
We got.
Yeah, I guess they just sort of pushed on. Yeah,
I guess so. But I understand it's the revolving stage and it's a very quick turnover. But surely a guitar tech is a guitar tech, and all you've got to do is just fucking tune the guitar. I mean,
like a 15 quid clip-on thing, and then it's the job, and you twiddle the knobs and it's done. I mean, this isn't.
Yeah. Yeah, well, quite. Anyway, there's not much to say about it, really. They did a bunch of. They did Rock. Then Sammy Hagar came on. Did anyone see Sammy Hagar?
Yeah. Saw do Rock Candy.
He was amazing, wasn't he? He did an early Montrose song. He did Rock Candy, which was really, really ploddy. Bark at the Moon was good. And then, for me, the sun came out for the first time in the day that I stopped being mocking and sarcastic and just genuinely negative about the whole thing. After about 17 bloody hours, and then Mr. Steven Tyler came out. And I thought that he was fantastic. It was like suddenly here's a rock star, and he held.
Being positive about it.
It was Freddie at Live Aid. It was Freddie at Live Aid. Proper front man came out and completely owned it, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it was that. I appreciate I'm biased because I do like Aerosmith, Marcus. I can see you smirking.
No, but it's a major love-in, Seb.
If you'd have sat through it, Marcus, and seen him come out, and then it's a total rock star frontman.
Yeah,
to the core, completely. It was Freddie.
Was it a Mercury at Live Aid type situation?
Yes, yeah.
That's what we just said. Yeah.
Was it like Queen at Live Aid?
Yeah.
It was Marcus, yeah, but it's a good analogy. It was exactly like that. But it was though. I think because up until that point, everyone had been quite that sort of self-effacing. all the frontmen really just been sort of like blokes in t-shirts and shaved heads, sort of just going whoa, whoa, wandering around being aggressive. And finally, it was showbiz, right? It was da-da.
Yeah.
And he had his mic stand, and he was doing all this silly stuff, and he was just really watchable. And you know, he wasn't doing anything amazing. It was just like, oh, okay, rock and roll, you know. And I know Steve's not a massive fan, but we both. It just made a big difference, and the whole thing sort of came alive then. And then they did Walk This Way, which was super fun. And then they did Ron Wood came out, didn't he? And did
Ron Wood came out for some reason.
And then did
I don't understand that.
No,
I can think of no justifiable reason to have him anywhere near it.
Yeah, it was odd, but he came and went quite quickly. So he came on, did that, then went off again.
One assumes he was invited. He didn't just pitch up.
You never know these sorts of things, do you? His guitar was in tune.
Does he appear? He was at Glastonbury with Rod, wasn't he? And
he's just around then, isn't he? He's just a
yeah.
Anyway, then they did Whole Lot of Love, which was Whole Lot of Love, and then Pantera came on, and for me that was a massive. After the energy that built up, for me it just went. Pantera just brought. It was just shit and ploddy and crap.
It's always been a massively overrated pile of shit, Pantera for me. But
also, I think now's the time we might as well talk about Zakk Wylde and his tone. My God, oh my Lord, Zakk Wylde.
I must say, I thought your description you should have seen it, Keith, in the WhatsApp. Seb's got it spot on, and it's no seeing it explained in words. It's chord, squeal, chord, squeal, chord, squeal, and that's what it does. There's these notes that come in that have no relevance to the key or anything. They're just these sort of like between other chords.
It's like it's rhubarb and custard vibrato.
Yeah,
like half-assed power chord, squeal, half-assed vibrato. It's just shocking guitar player.
It's the first time I've heard him play, and I just assumed because he's just a name you see around, and I just assumed he was a bit of a guitar legend and everyone liked him. So I was quite shocked to hear how bad he.
There are those that do. There are those that rate him highly.
Do you rate him highly, Keith?
No.
Okay, so Tool. I thought Tool. I'm not really that familiar with Tool. Steve, you thought they were a bit pretentious and up themselves.
Up themselves, and I don't like Danny Carey because I find Danny Carey a bit overrated and an overplayer. I'm not a big fan of it.
What did they do, Seb?
What Sabbath did they do?
They did 46 and 2. They did Hand of Doom, and they did Anima. Yeah, I thought they were all right.
Isn't that kind of complicated, trying to make things unnecessarily complicated? Isn't that one of Tool's things? The sort of
sort of
funny timings and all that.
It's sort of prog metal.
Yeah, okay.
Contemplative proggy metal. I thought they were okay. Then Slayer came on and did 6 whole songs, which was great. And Slayer for me were probably the highlight of the day for me because they just completely owned it from the beginning. I got excited. I suddenly, for the first time of the day, I realised that why I like metal and why I was watching it in the first place.
It made me miss them. And I hadn't until now.
Yeah. And I think
they're band of the day, definitely. Band by country mile, to be honest. Yeah.
I just was smiling throughout. It was just super fun and it was joyous, wasn't it? But even in that massive weird, you don't think a sort of tribute show in a massive stadium in the afternoon in the daylight you don't think that's a good place for Slayer to be. You don't think, Slayer aren't going to work in this context, with the sun shining. But it was brilliant, wasn't it? It was super aggressive. It was great. And also another thing I said to Steve, I think Gary Holt, for a couple of years, a long time, Gary Holt, I've never been completely convinced, but I understand he's recruited, he's filling a important pair of shoes. But I think he was brilliant. I think he's got.
He stopped being chummy. He looks like he's enjoying himself, but he stopped.
He looks like he belongs in the band.
Yeah, he stopped, behaving like he's in status quo and actually just getting on with it a bit more. So I think that's.
Keith, what did you think of Slayer?
As I said, it made me miss them, and I thought they chose really well.
Agreed.
I still think South of Heaven. What did they open with? I can't remember which one they started with.
Disciple.
God Hates Us All. No.
Yeah, it's
called Disciple. Yeah,
it's called Disciple.
Yeah.
Very good cross reference to an earlier episode of the pod.
We've done a questionable album club on podcast.
Because they did. They did War on Song, didn't they? South of Heaven, Raining. But I mean,
Wicked World.
Yeah, which was an unusual choice.
Yeah. They
Did
didn't
anybody do
cover very
Children
well.
of the Damned?
What?
Sorry, Keith.
Sorry, not Children of the Damned. Oh, sorry, brain fade. Children
Of the Sea.
Of the Damned?
And we'll get onto that, Marcus.
Are you just saying children?
Generally.
Yeah, I can't remember the name.
We've already done Children. That was Jack Black's kids, wasn't it?
It was.
Let's
Sorry,
go
carry
on
on,
to
carry on.
let's go on to Fred Durst and someone else doing changes.
Children of the Grave.
Children of the Grave.
Yeah, someone
Did
did that.
do that?
Lamb of
Yeah,
God
they
did
did.
that. Lamb of God did it.
Okay.
Yeah, Fred Durst doing changes. That was very emotional, I thought. Guns N' Roses came on, and Axl fucks up "It's All Right," which is the song that Bill Ward sings on Technical Ecstasy. What I loved about, but he saved it because it was, it was that song. What I loved about Guns N' Roses was they thought they were being really clever by doing all these obscure Black Sabbath songs that you could just tell no one in the audience knew what they were. They thought they're going to, everyone's going to love these. We're going to come with some real obscurities. And everyone's going, oh my God. But no, everyone's like, what the fuck is this? I don't know. It's not Paradise City. But then
His timing on Sabbath, bloody Sabbath, was really, really poor.
Who, Axl?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over, mate. Really, isn't it? Let's be
Really poor.
Anyone watching that.
Embarrassingly poor. Yeah, I was a bit shocked. I didn't know what was going on. I thought he was doing it to be ironic to start with, or a bit jazzy, but it was just really bad.
Jazzy.
Yeah, well, sort of.
You're giving him the benefit of the doubt there, yeah.
Yeah, but it was just shit.
He's looking quite slim though, isn't he?
He's lost a lot of weight. He's lost weight, and I thought the band were okay per se. The rest of
are you scratching around for nice things to say, Seb?
Well, the drummer was decent. They've got a decent
Lost
drummer.
weight.
They've got a decent drummer, which makes a big difference.
Yeah, I thought he was good.
Yeah.
I just felt sorry for people like Steve that loved them back in the day and had to witness that.
Anyway, moving on.
Metallica, Metallica.
Nothing off Kill 'Em All, so pointless. Yeah.
I fell asleep during Metallica.
Did they get Mustaine back on?
He was outside ranting about it.
I sort of fell asleep in my soul watching Metallica because it was just Metallica, and there they were in a stadium again, and they had their yellow drum kit from whatever it is, their current what it is, their yellow record. It was alright, wasn't it?
I don't get the cocktail stick and
Lars. What can you say?
Yeah.
Doesn't do himself any favors, does he?
He stands up quite a lot. Anyway, so then it was into the highlight of the evening, or the climax of the evening, which was Ozzy Osbourne's solo band, which was Tommy Klutos. How do you pronounce his name? He's been drumming in for ages. Mike Inez, Zach Wilde, and they did I Don't Know, Mr. Crowley, Suicide Solution, Mum Run Coming Home, and Crazy Train. Who wants to talk about that? Oh, Ozzy was in a wheelchair.
This week, what's been when it was first announced, I assumed it was Sabbath's final show, and this week I sort of looked up the top 10 best-selling Sabbath albums, and there's a compilation and 2 live albums and 2 of the classic albums, the 2 classic albums with Ronnie James Dio on it, and everything else sells quite a bit less than that. And I was just thinking, basically, it's Ozfest, isn't it? It was all about Ozzy rather than a Sabbath thing, which I'd rather have had Sabbath do 8 songs than a crappy Ozzy solo set, which I didn't particularly enjoy. Probably because of Zach Wilde, and I don't need to hear Crazy Train again. I mean, you can't help but take it as read, and it's an obvious thing to say. It's quite emotional to see the state he's in, and to see all 4 of them back playing again was great. But I'd rather have had 8 songs of that than the Ozzy solo set. And in the day, why not do a couple of Heaven and Hell or something like that? It would have gone down a storm, I'm sure.
I think, Steve, what you're missing, I think there's a lot of politics between Sharon Osbourne and Tony Iommi.
Absolutely. That's the point. Yeah.
I don't know if you read the Guardian review, but apparently on the day they were still selling tickets, or a couple of days leading to the show, and they were advertising as Ozzy Osbourne as opposed to Black Sabbath. Really? Yeah. And I think
selling tickets as well. I thought it was all not for love nor money. You couldn't get,
Apparently so. So yeah, I think.
I thought they released a few restricted view and that kind of stuff late on.
But they were marketed as Ozzy Osbourne, singles Ozzy Osbourne, which is what it was all about.
It just at that point it seemed to come across very much as a show designed to appeal to the American market, and you know, this Ozzy is a huge name in the US, and they wanted to sell lots of pay-per-views. With my cynical hat on, it was all done for charity, but I should imagine maybe the not all of it's going to charity, and maybe the overseas pay-per-views probably are going to Sharon Osbourne's.
No, her kitchen needs replacing apparently, so that's going to be sorted now. But these things are often proceeds to charity, and it's like there's accounting and creative accounting. So after all costs have been considered and people have had their nice fees, and
there's always expenses.
Levels. Yeah, of course there is. Yeah, there's production fees and all the rest of it. So
they're saying
there may have been something.
They're saying that it's estimated that 140 million pounds was raised by the event for charity altogether, which will be divided equally between Acorns Children's Hospice, Birmingham Children's Hospital, and Cure Parkinson's. Apparently,
that's almost the amount of money that Birmingham City Council is in debt. It's quite curious. They could have just squared off the local political scene in one go.
It's funny though. It's funny that what you said, Keith. It does feel like they were just using Birmingham, England, as a backdrop for the American pay-per-view.
Well, the lineup.
The fucking compare, Jason. Oh lordy.
Yeah.
And his stage mosh pit thing during Slayer, that was
basically from Slipknot proposing to Kelly. Probably after his pay-per-view receipts.
It was nice. It was nice to see Bill Ward, wasn't it? Topless as well. That was brilliant.
Well, yeah, that was brilliant. Yeah, it was just
fair play on that. Fair play. As I thought, I wondered because he never wore anything. And
he just didn't look like.
He seemed all right as well.
Yeah, he just didn't look too fussed. Geezer looked like he'd rather be doing anything else, and
Geezer was killing it.
We scooted.
We scooted it all over.
We scooted past the Ozzy set. I think it was 4 good tunes to choose. But I couldn't help thinking that this is not about Black Sabbath anymore. And whatever came afterwards was, And I think it was at that point we all started to think, hold on, there's something not quite right with his voice here.
Yeah,
was it auto-tuned, do you think, or something?
No, the live feed was apparently recorded. It was all done to a click, and then if you compare the live feed with crowd recordings, I was quite shocked when I heard some of the crowd recordings. Really, really shocked.
I've heard this as well.
Yeah, I've done quite a lot of reading and background on that, and there's a lot of people saying, well, I was there and I recorded it on my phone and it sounded shit on my phone, but it wasn't. It was so there's quite a lot of people saying the opposite.
Yeah, but they're sounding shit on the phone and they're sounding like really low and out of tune, and
there was a couple of times where there was more than one voice coming through as well. Yeah. It was weird. It was odd. I don't mind. It doesn't,
I expected it.
I'd rather they doctored it up than we all sat there going, "Oh Christ!"
It also explains why they needed 2 hours, which is the lag. The 2 hour lag was odd.
Crazy.
So that does explain.
Yeah.
Yeah, because auto tuning live on the hoof is very, very difficult. It doesn't tend to work particularly well.
And then. So I didn't mean to skip any. I suppose we're talking about Ozzy and Sabbath generally now. Any thoughts and caring about both those two performances? It was only 9 songs altogether, wasn't it? While Ozzy was on stage, and then the end, of course, when which seems to be the narrative moving forward, was on the live stream. It ended very abruptly, and it was edited to look like the very last thing we saw was Ozzy turning around in his chair, unable to move, just swearing, saying, don't get off, stay on the fucking stage, or turn the fucking stage, or something. And then that was it. And that was
I
very
thought
much
he said turn it.
But
whether they were,
but that was very much.
It was chaotic.
Yeah,
it was chaotic.
But what's interesting though, Keith, is that obviously we've all seen that that's not actually what happened, right? And there have been quite a lot of posts on social media, but actually they all went over and they shook his hand and they all did it, and they gave him a book and they went and gave him a cake and stuff, and it wasn't like that at all. But what's fascinating is that in the 2-hour lag that they had to fix all the audio stuff and to double track his voice and to kind of to beef up the guitars and do all the sonic stuff they needed to do to make it broadcastable, what they didn't do was show a kind of happy ending with Tony Geezer and everyone sort of together happily at the end. They decided not to do that. They decided to cut it to Ozzy looking grief-stricken and essentially look like a victim at the thing, and then cut it off, which is a really cynical decision. How could it not be intentional?
Sharon donations or something like that. Get your credit card out and make some donations.
Well, it just made Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, but it made Sabbath look like a bunch of cynical cunts who didn't fuck about Oswald. It looked like they were leaving him on stage, swearing upset on his own, and he couldn't walk. The end. Thanks, everybody. Was that a coincidence? I mean, does anything like that happen coincidentally with Sharon Osbourne?
I don't think so. But what purpose did she have apart from making him look? I mean, did he need any more? I mean, the guy gets an awful lot of love for somebody that's.
Yeah, but Sharon doesn't care about the love. Sharon cares about fucking over people that she doesn't like, fucking over Lee Kerslake, fucking over Bob Daisley, fucking over everybody. Literally everybody who crosses her in any way, fucking him over is the priority. It's like Trump. It's negativity. It's the vengeance. It's the cruelty and vengeance that count with her, not the positivity and love. You know, I appreciate.
So what are the other three done to upset her?
Oh, I don't know, but I'm sure.
Bill Ward, for one, they feel there's no love lost there, do you, with Bill Ward? Because he was supposed to play when we saw him at Hyde Park. Wasn't he supposed to be on that thing?
That's right. He was. Yeah, he was told he was part of it, wasn't he? But didn't he? I think it was financial.
Yeah, it was.
He put out a statement. It was because he wanted an equal share, and it was like, no,
I'd
forgotten about that.
Yeah,
I'd forgotten about that. Yeah. So it all ended on a bit of a, damp, Sharon-y squib.
It all felt a bit of a sort of. It just felt a bit flat, didn't it? At the end, I don't know. It just felt a bit.
Yeah, because they didn't have a curtain call. You would think, right? At the end of the show, have a kind of feed the world moment, where everyone comes to stage.
I was expecting the the various guys to come out sort of as in We Are the World type, all sharing verses of Paranoid or something with their arms around one another and
swaying.
Yeah, I was kind of glad they didn't, but I thought they would have.
Yeah,
that would have been brilliant if they come out and done "We're Stars." That would have been awesome.
Yeah,
they missed the trick there.
No, there'd be no Dio. It's clear there was going to be no Dio that day at all.
No, I don't know what I think about that because I was mulling that over earlier.
Well, it's just that
it was never going to happen.
No, but if some bands in the day did it because it was just. In my mind,
I agree.
It was the Sabbath day. Yeah. There's a lot to Black Sabbath beyond those few albums that he was on. But
you can't. It's very, very difficult to ignore Mob Rules and Heaven and Hell.
Yeah. Well, look at the sales.
They're fantastic albums. Albums. But I was always going to be anything that I think took away from Ozzy was not going to get past Sharon.
No.
Right. I would like.
I mean, they could have got Ian Gillan on, done trashed.
Oh, I was zero.
Probably would have.
Ray Gillan.
After that,
Tony Martin.
Disturbing the priest with KK Downing.
This is my prediction for the future. You'll see Iommi touring a Tony Martin version of Sabbath. That's my prediction.
I'd go to that. I'd go.
Yeah. I think we'll all be there. I'll see you there.
Oh, of course you would. Yeah.
Supporting Manowar next week.
Yeah. See.
Right.
Who's the guy the guy that sings with the there's that Dio sort of bands that go around now, isn't there?
He sounds really good, doesn't he? That guy. Yeah.
What's his name? Something like Remy Martin or something like that. He sang with Rainbow, didn't he? When Blackmore did that reprise sort of thing. He got a hell of a voice.
Yeah,
does sound very Dio-y. But I don't think Iommi will go out again.
We will see.
Not as Sabbath.
Keith, what we always do on this, right? We don't need to do summing up. I think we've been summing up. We always mark everything we do on this out of 100. So I'm going to ask everybody. I know it seems somewhat arbitrary and perhaps wrong, whatever, but just for the sake of our leaderboard, we're going to mark this event and your enjoyment of it and whatever out of 100. So can we just go around? Marcus, please, could you...
well, I've had a marvellous time, to be
up?
honest, both on this podcast and enjoying your mainly negative reviews on Saturday. So I'm going to give it 75 out of 100.
75. Steve, Mr. Gibson?
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about this either.
It's a difficult one because you have to watch the 4 men of the Sabbath. It's never going to happen again, so that it should be 100. But
two scores. Two scores. It's your heart score and your head score.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not gonna. I can't be asked to do the math for that, Keith. Just give me a kind of animal.
You only got divided by 2.
I'll give it a 70 for the whole day. It was a good laugh. The day was a good laugh, and all the rest of it. So.
I'm also going to give it a 70 because the same thing, although I thought it took a while to get going, I wasn't all that interested, but the fact it went on all day and I was engaged at certain points, I thought it was very emotional at the end, and I thought, it was good enough. I enjoyed it. It was a good day's entertainment, and we had a lot of fun on the WhatsApp, so it was, a 70. Keith?
I'm gonna push that up to 80.
So this is by far...
This is going to the top of the entire Questionable Album Club.
This isn't going to count on our normal leaderboard.
No, it's going to be like a special category.
No.
It's sort of FA Cup, isn't it? So to the side.
We're still going to do it, and I'm still doing the calculator. So that gives us the total of, so back to the beginning, scores an official Questionable Album Club score of 73.75. So if we did put this on our leaderboard, this would be by far, this would beat Yes Please by the fucking Happy Mondays. So Ozzy and crew and Zach Wilde and Stephen Tyler and Ron Wood and all these people, they all beat Sean Ryder. So yeah, it was a success. That's a hit. Thanks everyone, that was fun. Especially one off. We can do these again. So if you've enjoyed this, even if you haven't enjoyed it, please can you like and subscribe, and just like and subscribe. What?
Comment. People need to comment.
Comment.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, comment, and things like that. That would be very kind.
We need to talk about my fee as well. Steve said I would get paid.
Thanks everybody.
Where's the off button?
Keith, I tell you what, Keith, as we're saying goodbye, why don't you show us your feet, and then we'll just end it with,
My feet or my feed?
I think you said feet.
No, feet.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's okay. I've donated it to the Sabbath.
Parkinson's.
Yeah, whatever that thing.
Tell you what, your fee is a copy of the Salt Path. I'll put this in the post to you.
Oh God, can we end it now?
I can see the cover now, Marcus. At least the cover's not blurred now.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. That's the end.
On your wall, Marcus.
What's that?
You have pictures of ballerinas on your wall.
Yeah, I do. That's why I'm having it blurred out.
Okay.
It's yeah.
So you can tell me.
Legal reasons. They're my children. I don't want them broadcast to the world. Thank you very much.
No. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Press the button, for goodness sake.